If you're not sure how to feel right now, you're not alone. We started this service amid the boisterous crowd, throwing down their cloaks and waving palms, shouting Hosanna, and proclaiming the arrival of God's chosen Messiah to anyone who would listen. And then the service took an abrupt, dark turn into the story of Jesus' last days and his crucifixion. Let's unpack this emotional whiplash for a moment or two. We are the noisy, palm-waving crowd excited about this Jesus teacher we've been following around for weeks and months, listening to him. And he talks about a world without poverty or oppression or war, where all people are respected and valued and no one goes hungry. He says every one of us is loved by God, no matter what we have done or left undone, no matter if we are rich or poor. And he does what he talks about. We have seen lame people walk, blind people see, people restored to sanity. They say he raised someone from the dead. How could we not want someone who is clearly so holy and powerful as our leader and king? Yeah, sure, he's not rich. He's like most of us, from a regular family in a small town. He knows that we just want to work and get paid fairly, to feed our families, raise healthy children in peace and safety. And he tells stories we can relate to, and they make us think about how we live and the people we love and how we serve God. So what if he doesn't dress fancy or ride a big war horse? He cares about us, about everybody. Fishermen, widows, tax collectors, Pharisees, prostitutes. He's the one, the Messiah, the ancient prophets told us about, the one who is coming to bring God's kingdom back to power. Hosanna in the highest. And then, like flipping a switch, we find ourselves in the Passion story. In common English usage today, we use the word passion to mean strong or barely controlled desire or anger. But the root word of passion, the Greek word pathos, means suffering. And in Christian tradition, we talk about the passion of Jesus as the events of his betrayal, arrest, trial, and execution. His physical, emotional, and spiritual suffering during Holy Week. As we place ourselves in the story, we may be reminded of our own discomforting experiences of grief, betrayal, disappointment. Or we may find ourselves hyper aware of the suffering in the world around us, in the experiences of people who are shamed, oppressed and ignored, invisible and powerless. We began Lent with a mantra: breathe, hold, resist. Borrowed from a ballet instructor encouraging their students to practice a new position with intention. To breathe as they extend into position. To hold and continue breathing as muscles start to quiver in an unaccustomed posture, growing stronger and more aware of the effort it takes to stay in a new and different place. And then resist. Resist just letting go and flopping into the same old place. And instead, resistance is carrying that intention of the new position all the way to where we place our shaking feet. So where we started, in excitement and triumph at the possibility of so much fullness of life for everyone, with Jesus, God's Word in human form, bringing us the vision of a world where no one wants or stays sick or feels forgotten. And we follow that vision. We give it our all, our whole lives. And with the same crowd of disciples, we move into the Passion, and we find ourselves bearing witness to a very human story with very relatable conflict among people who love one another. Temptation, betrayal, arrest, misunderstandings, all leading to a horrific death, the kind of death reserved for thieves and traitors. Along the way, there are a few moments of grace, but it's mostly dark, soul-rending, and painful, leaving us feeling helpless, lost, distrustful, tempted to assign blame, take sides, distance ourselves from one another. Holy Week provides the ultimate invitation to breathe, hold, resist. Breathe in the contagious posture of joy and excitement and possibility of the palm-waving, Hosanna-shouting crowd. Breathe in the extravagant love of Jesus for his friends at dinner together. Hold on to the conviction of following Jesus, of his example and exhortation about loving and honoring ourselves and all people with courage and forgiveness. Hold on to seeing every person, every flower and animal as God's beloved and precious creation. Hold on, even when our faith feels shaky, when we're not sure how much longer we can. And keep breathing in and out, holding that awkward position of bravery and kindness. Breathe, hold, and resist. Resist flopping down into the resignation of scarcity and fear that are all around us. Resist, as Jesus did, the idols of the world that draw our eyes and hearts away from the love of God. Resist the temptation to avoid the difficult realizations, prayers, and conversations of Holy Week. Join us on Thursday at 6 p.m. as we share a meal together and hear the story of Jesus' farewell conversation with his friends. Join us Friday at 12:15 as we contemplate the brokenness of our world and the depth of Jesus' love broken on the cross. Saturday morning at 9 a.m., we gather for simple prayers in the emptiness of the world while Jesus visits the depths of hell. We don't get to Easter without the pain and passion of Holy Week. Breathe, hold, resist.